A solitary coconut palm arches dramatically over the turquoise expanse of the ocean. Its feathered crown brushing against the salt-laden breeze in a posture that seems to defy every principle of balance and stability known to the natural world. This living paradox stands as a silent testament to the extraordinary ingenuity of evolution. Where a tree appears perpetually on the brink of collapse yet thrives for decades against the relentless forces of tide and wind. What appears at first glance to be a precarious lean is in fact a masterful adaptation honed over millennia. One that challenges conventional notions of how plants secure their place in the world. Consider the scene unfolding along a remote tropical shoreline, where the palm extends its scarred trunk at an improbable angle toward the churning surf. At the apex of this serpentine form rests a colossal crown of fronds spanning 6 meters. Heavy with clusters of fluid-filled fruits that sway gently in the ocean air. Despite the absence of solid bedrock and the constant assault of salty gales, the tree endures in a state of perpetual falling that never quite reaches its conclusion. This dramatic posture captures the eye immediately, yet it conceals layers of biological precision that few observers fully appreciate upon first encounter. However, that striking visual represents only the beginning of the story, and the mechanisms driving this lean prove far more intricate than surface appearances suggest. The coconut palm does not bend merely by chance or weakness. Instead, its form arises from a desperate and highly strategic hunger for light. As a young sapling emerges from the dense coastal undergrowth, it enters an intense competition within the arboreal realm, racing toward the vast open canvas provided by the sea. Here, the water surface functions as an expansive mirror, reflecting solar energy back through what scientists term the marine albedo effect. This phenomenon amplifies the available illumination, creating a gradient of brightness that the palm exploits with remarkable efficiency. To achieve this orientation, the plant relies on a key hormone known as auxin. This substance accumulates preferentially on the shaded, landward side of the trunk, where it stimulates cellular elongation in a process akin to the slow stretching of muscle fibers under controlled tension. The darker side expands more rapidly, gently bowing the entire structure toward the sun-drenched waters. In this way, the palm optimizes its exposure to photosynthetically active radiation, ensuring maximum energy capture for growth and reproduction. Picture a young palm sapling, barely emerging from the sand, sensing the brighter horizon ahead and responding with this internal adjustment. It is a quiet yet relentless pursuit, unfolding over months and years, that transforms a straight sapling into the iconic arched form observed on countless beaches worldwide. Yet the pursuit of light demands more than directional growth alone. It requires an equally sophisticated foundation to counteract the forces of gravity and erosion. Unlike many trees that depend on a single deep taproot for anchorage, the coconut palm deploys an extensive network of 4,000 to 7,000 fibrous roots. These form a dense mass often referred to as a root bolus, radiating outward across distances of up to 30 meters. Each root functions like a biological cable, gripping the loose sand and binding shifting particles into a cohesive whole. This subterranean mesh not only secures the trunk against the pull of the ocean but also regenerates continuously, replacing older fibers as they decay. Through this dynamic system, the palm renders itself remarkably resistant to the erosive action of waves and tides, maintaining stability even as the ground beneath it shifts with every surge. And what follows from this foundation reveals an even more compelling dimension to the palm's strategy. The lean serves not solely for light acquisition but also as a calculated evolutionary gambit for conquest and dispersal. By arching over the surf, the tree positions its heavy fruits for direct entry into the water upon maturity. This arrangement initiates a remarkable process known as hydrochory, or water dispersal. Each coconut, encased in a buoyant husk that traps air, becomes a self-contained vessel capable of floating for 110 days or more. Carried by ocean currents, these seeds can travel distances reaching 4,800 kilometers, allowing the species to colonize distant shores and atolls far beyond its original locale. In essence, the palm transforms potential vulnerability into a global advantage, turning the sea into a highway for its progeny. Nevertheless, this audacious design introduces inherent risks, particularly when tropical cyclones unleash their full fury. The heavy crown suspended over open water, supported only by a fibrous mat and a leaning trunk, might seem destined for destruction under high winds. Yet the palm survives where rigid timber often snaps. To comprehend this resilience, one must examine the internal architecture of the trunk itself, which embodies a form of natural engineering that rivals modern composite materials used in aerospace applications. The trunk employs what is known as an attitostele arrangement, featuring a scattered matrix of vascular bundles rather than the concentric rings found in typical hardwood trees. These bundles are encased in protective sheaths composed of sclerenchyma tissue, fortified by a precise balance of rigid lignin and flexible cellulose. This composite structure grants the palm exceptional elasticity, allowing it to bend at angles approaching 50 degrees without permanent damage. Moreover, the tree actively manages its center of gravity by adjusting cell density and generating turgor pressure through water-filled parenchyma cells. This internal hydrostatic force, maintained at levels between 0.3 and 1.2 megapascals, creates a hydraulic skeleton that absorbs kinetic energy during storms. When gale-force winds strike, the palm yields gracefully, its matrix dampening the impact before the structure snaps back to its carefully calibrated lean once the tempest subsides. It is a biomechanical waltz, where flexibility becomes the ultimate form of strength. But the story does not conclude with mere survival. The leaning posture also represents a daring flanking maneuver in the theater of evolution, allowing the coconut palm to escape the competitive shadows of inland tropical forests. By extending seaward, it claims an open arena above the waves where rival vegetation cannot encroach. In this space, the palm benefits from a double illumination, as the ocean not only reflects light but also presents a brighter sky horizon. Under conditions of elevated albedo, this can enhance light intensity by 15 to 25%, providing a significant photosynthetic edge. The apical meristem at the growing tip detects this luminous bounty through positive phototropism and directs cellular changes accordingly, locking the trunk into its permanent arc. To sustain such a configuration, bearing a crown that may exceed several hundred kilograms, requires an anchor of truly mythical scale. The adventitious roots, uniform in thickness and possessing astonishing tensile strength, extend like subterranean rigging beneath the sand. Landward roots bear tensile loads similar to steel cables, while those on the seaward side compress under the canopy's weight, effectively transforming loose silica into a solid foundation block. This root system stitches the beach together, countering the immense torque generated by the overhanging form and ensuring long-term stability amid shifting conditions. The surprising aspect lies in how this structural sacrifice aligns perfectly with the palm's singular evolutionary imperative. The severe oceanic lean functions as a meticulously engineered biological launchpad. When a mature fruit detaches, it plummets directly into the tide rather than impacting the abrasive shore, thereby avoiding mechanical damage. Encased within its waterproof shell, the embryo remains viable during its oceanic journey, enabling colonization of pristine sands on remote archipelagos. Through this mechanism, a once localized species has become a cosmopolitan colonizer, spreading across vast oceanic expanses and shaping ecosystems far and wide. In reflecting upon these adaptations, one recognizes a profound lesson in resilience and optimization that extends beyond botany. The coconut palm demonstrates how living organisms can turn environmental challenges into opportunities, balancing the pull of gravity with the drive for expansion in ways that inspire fields ranging from materials science to conservation efforts. Its example encourages a deeper appreciation for the intricate designs present in coastal habitats and underscores the importance of preserving such natural wonders against the pressures of climate change and human development. Ultimately, this remarkable palm stands as a symbol of nature's calculated elegance, where every lean, every root, and every fruit serves a purpose refined through countless generations. The next time one encounters such a tree along a tropical shoreline, it may evoke not only awe at its apparent defiance of gravity, but also a renewed sense of wonder at the hidden genius underlying its survival. And the reason behind these features remains even more noteworthy, for it reveals how evolution crafts solutions that harmonize form, function, and future propagation in perfect unity. We extend our sincere gratitude to the dedicated botanists, plant physiologists, and evolutionary biologists whose rigorous research has unveiled these secrets of the coconut palm. Their contributions continue to enrich humanity's understanding of the living world, fostering knowledge that benefits both scientific advancement and the stewardship of our planet's diverse ecosystems.